Okay, family, welcome to Coochie Church Monday. This is second show. There's sisters coming on. But first, we're going to do the opening.
Out a call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you,
Listen, y'all guys,
the queen,
quiet down.
the magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our
You in,
purpose.
Abudakaya?
Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back, and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Okay, Abudakaya, you in? It's on you, Kuru.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Remember always who you are. Yes. Yes. I am love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am love, yes, power. Yes. I am yes. I am love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am wisdom, power. Master. Yes. I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, come here and look what I'm seeing.
Yes. I am. Say yes to yourself. Yes. Yes. I am master. I am yes.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, family. We have multiple guests. And Sister Tracy, where are you? Sister Tracy. I guess she'll be coming shortly. Anyway, the purpose of this show is to bring forth the feminine representation of divinity that has been suppressed by the whole planet, for that matter. So I decided to provide space, hold a space for Coochie Church Mondays, and allow our sister Tracy, who is, I guess, for lack of better terms, she's the pastor of the Coochie Church. She is a ripe, mature woman. And I have sisters here in the living room who are healers, mothers, and explorers of the mystic sciences, the natural sciences. So I'm going to be background and providing a platform. Karu, you in? We got Sagittarians, we got Geminis, we got Cancerians. Cancerian, you in? Rita? I'm right here. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to do the opening prayer. I am in me, I am in you, the listening audience. I am in the sea of life. We invite ascended masters, the gods and the goddesses, who are our big brothers, who are going to show the way so that we have a balanced polarity of North Pole, which is the feminine, South Pole, which is the masculine, in our spiritual cultivation. Because Kundalini can't rise with just the masculine principle. Otherwise, you'll burn up your nervous system. Kundalini can't rise. You can't generate electricity without the positive pole and the negative pole. You can't create life without the positive man and the feminine masculine. even though bent and twisted agendas are trying to change the forces of nature. So we're gonna have a full forum being facilitated by our assistant Tracy. So without further ado, let's bring her on. I don't know what Tracy is. So I'm going to be in the background for the start talking about who you are and what you're about.
Greetings, greetings.
Come over here. Introduce yourself. You're live.
Greetings, greetings, everyone. I am K-Rue Defontes Eel. I am a healer, an herbalist, an ancestral healer, and a birth worker. I'm here with Brother Hank. Long time. Ancient soul. I'm glad to be here with Hank and the other beautiful woman here at the Coochie Church.
Yep. So, Karu, talk about the importance of the feminine principle and women getting in touch with their wombs. Talk about frozen womb, cold womb.
Man, when your womb is not in alignment, your whole life is out of order. Believe it or not. We had a deep discussion earlier about keeping your womb warm. When a woman's womb is out of balance, usually we'll call that wandering womb, or some of you who have been, to the doctor, you might have heard of prolapse uterus. And literally our wombs are really the center of our universes. So when it's out of alignment, we are off balance and we are not making decisions that are intelligent, not emotionally, not spiritually, not physically, in no way, shape, or form, right? And we start, because some of us don't have the knowledge of these things, we start to live in the darker aspects of ourselves, which shift the planet for the worse. Okay. And so it's very, very, very important. Womb health is very important. I don't care who you are, even men have wombs, you believe it or not. Okay. And we know that because a lot of women have experiences where you're with men, and you can be with men, and certain men can pull what they need for their mother's wombs. Okay. Women can do the same thing. You can have friends who kind of grew up without the proper, mothering energy, and so they can attach themselves to you without even knowing it. So it's important to just be aware that these things are happening, and study, right? Study yourself. Talk to your womb. Get into womb health on every level, right? Spiritually, get some herbs, talk to people, have circles around, womb circles. Womb circles are extremely important, right? Our wombs carry information that goes back at least 14 generations. So our wombs have stories, and we are living out those stories every moment of the day, every second. We're living out these stories. We're living out generational curses. We're holding on to trauma that we may have not experienced. We're living in our grandmother's stories and our great grandmother's stories. We're living in these cycles that can be broken through your womb, through the power of your womb. So, it's a deep, 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 deep thing, right? I would suggest.
Before you get in, because I know your information is important, let everybody introduce themselves.
Yes.
Starting with the ladies first. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Rita Uso. I'm grateful to be here.
Tell us about your gifts, your talents, your journey.
My gifts. I'm a seer.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Greetings, everyone. I am Mordecai Muhammad. I am a Coochie high priestess of purification and purification rites and Hermetic order. I've been about this work more than half my life. I'm also a sacred woman, womb wellness warrior. Um, and I'm here to observe and to share today. Give thanks for the invite. And so it is.
Tyler, you gotta bring your camera closer. Looks good.
How you doing? My name is Tyler, and I can't tell you. Well, let me tell you what I can tell you. I am here on this planet to help restore the divine feminine order and to make sure that the Black woman's consciousness is in its proper place. Also, through that, I am also here to help heal people through sound, and I also help people with plant meditation, such as mushrooms and things of that nature. So that is my purpose. That's why I'm here.
Shay. To everybody.
Okay, Rita, you gotta adjust your camera so people can see your loveliness.
Peace, peace. I'm Natalie, aka Natoma, and wow, I'm on a healing journey. I'm on a healing journey to.
You gotta talk up, sis.
I'm on my healing journey. I'm enjoying and appreciating the energies that I'm around, learning, growing, taking some info that I need to help me on my journey to move forward. I'm a creative artist. I do a little bit of clothes. I do jewelry for sure. I also do other things too, but it's nice, wonderful being here. It's powerful being here, actually, meeting these powerful, powerful people I'm around. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You not gonna vote? I thought they did. Mordecai, you did your intro. A womb, Karu.
How can women get in? Okay, first step, if you have no experience, I would first just start by talking to your body, right? Not just your womb. Talk to your feet, talk to your head, talk to your heart, touch yourself, feel yourself, bring yourself back in your body, feel yourself, if you got to get in the front of the mirror butt naked, right, to accept and appreciate and just to become aware of yourself. A lot of us as brown women, we don't like how we look, we ignore ourselves. So talk to every part of yourself. Talk to your womb. Put your hand on your womb, right? Your womb about 2 inches, under your belly button and 2 inches above your pelvic bone. Feel your womb. Feel your womb out. It's a muscle. You should feel it. Rub your womb. Speak to your womb. Our bodies are intelligent. We have so much memory, right? Give yourself massages, right? I thought that would be the first step. Being aware, of yourself, not being afraid to touch yourself, right? Not being afraid of being intimate with yourself. I think that's like key to starting your womb healing journey. And then, from there, you can go deeper, right? You could start getting things like red raspberry to start toning your womb. Let me tell you, your womb health is important, right? I don't know if y'all seen the movie Beloved. Did y'all see that movie and how she was able to make things happen, right? Whether they were good or bad. This is real, right? When we're not in connection with our wombs, either way, we're making things happen, right? We gonna bring life or we killing people, okay? So if you are not in a healthy space within your womb, I'm gonna be honest, you might be, doing a lot of damage out here. But start by becoming more intimate with your body. Then start adding womb herbs implementing them to your life, right? Drinking teas, right? Start reading, right? The more aware you become of your womb, literally, exactly like what you ask for, what you seek is going to be seeking you. Okay? Our stories are here. Our mother's stories are here. Our father's, daddy's stories is here. So your womb will talk back. Your womb will tell you, what it needs, right? Make sure you're in a comfortable space. And that's how you can start, just the basics, not going into anything, too deep, but definitely start by feeling yourself. Start by feeling yourself. Like Hank says, think from your womb. You'll make better decisions if you have a healthy womb. But definitely start by talking to your womb and listening at the same time. Listen to what your body is telling you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To also like to add to that. 2 inches below. Mm-hmm. You add those 2 and 2, about 4. Right, 4 is the number of mechanism. Oh,
so
live, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So what I was telling her is the truth in what she was speaking is because she said your womb is 2 inches below the belly button and 2 inches above. Better? Okay. So the womb is 2 inches below the belly button and 2 inches above the pelvic navel, the pelvic bone, she said, which is the number 4. When you take 2 and 2, you add 4, you get the number of mind, right? So your mind must be ready in order to start talking to the womb. Some of the women, your mind has to be ready to start talking and start the progression of the healing to the womb, right? And you also have to start to understand that you cannot just allow every person to enter your womb. It's a sacred space. It's a portal. It's not a homeless shelter. It's not a place for people who need a nap to rest in. And I'm trying to be very, very nice saying what I'm saying. And so once you start to get your mind right, then the womb will align, right? Once you're able to talk to the womb, she's going to tell you what she needs, because you have to understand that this is a portal for both male and females to come from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. So the womb not only must be protected, it must be nurtured. There are certain exercises that you can do, certain herbs, as the sister said before, to take. There are certain practices that you can utilize. Abstinence is one of them, right? Because you have to understand that every man that ejaculates in you stays into you for a minimum of 7 years. So be real with yourself. How many partners have you had? Are you able to remove those partners from the womb? Because you may not recognize that you're trying to do this work and nothing is happening. But did you release the people that have entered to your womb? You may not be able to move forward because somebody from 15 years ago that you still have an attachment with. You think it's a connection, but it's an attachment. You can't move forward until you release that energy. That person may have never evolved, right? Spiritually, physically, mentally, and they're still in the same place. So your womb isn't able to move. You may have moved leaps and bounds, but why am I still stuck here? Remove these stagnant energies. The womb should be like a river. It's flowing. It's beautiful. It's sacred. But a lot of them are like ponds. They're stagnant and they have algae and what do you call it? Leeches and parasites growing in them. Remove these things in order to receive the information, as the sister said, so the womb can get, because the womb is a mind, right? Remember, they tell you that you have an intuition, and we all know the woman's intuition is the strongest, and it comes from her womb and her gut. If her womb and her gut are not aligned, her mind can't be aligned. Her heart is what projects everything. So if you're also, that the sister next to me just gave me a good point. Make sure your heart isn't healed. You cannot still be hurt from the damage and the traumas that men or your daddy or your mama have done. Release that. It serves you no purpose. It's okay. Those things happened. Release them so we can move, forward. See, we want to be like bow and arrows. We want to take a little bit of a setback and just be pulled so we can release it, so we can move forward and hit the target. And that's what womb healing is about. It's about releasing what no longer serves you so you can hit that target of becoming the God that you are. I don't use the term goddess because there's nothing less about you. You are the first. You are the mother. I came through you. So as the sister said, men have wombs, but ours are more so metaphysical. I'm not taking away from what you said. I'm just giving you an example of how I understand things. Yeah. So we have an energetic womb, a metaphysical womb, and our job is to protect the womb. So you have to get in touch with your inner feminine in order to help the ladies get there. You are not just, we as men have to stop. Also, another part of womb healing is stop the sexualization of yourself. And men, stop the hypersexualization of the woman. She is not just here for you to fuck on. Part of my language. She is literally the portal that brings the children to this realm from the spirit, from the spiritual realm. So we do not treat her as a sexual object. She is to be worshipped. No, I don't even like that term. Let me rephrase that. She is to be honored and revered and placed on the pedestal so that you can understand how to operate. But so many of the wounds are hurt. We have to move past the hurt phase. And men, acknowledge what we have done. Acknowledge that it is us who overthrew the divine feminine. This is why we are in this. It is time for us as a people to move forward. Also, remember, not everybody's coming with us, so that's another subject, but leave them behind. Go ahead, sis. No. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I just wanted to say something. You brought up, the brother brought up a lot of good points. Just a few things. Worship. I love the word worship. It really means honored. Christians don't own that word. Okay.
Yes.
So we can say that and feel empowered in it, right? I just wanted to, the brother was talking about abstinence, and that is so. I'm so glad you brought that up, because a lot of us, we go into celibacy and abstinence with the intention of healing our wounds, right? And sometimes even protecting our hearts. I remember the first time I became celibate, and then when I wasn't celibate no more, it was almost as if things got worse, right? when I broke the celibacy, and I had to realize that because I was just celibate, I wasn't moving energy around, right? And so yes, abstinence and celibacy and really stepping back to clean and clear, you know, past, attachments, is very important while you're celibate and abstinent, because you can definitely go backwards. You could definitely um, become a lot more imbalanced than what you started out with, because that energy is now just sitting there, right? There's no movement happening. Um, Over 70% of women don't have full circulation around their reproductive system or their pelvic wall, right? So it's just like stagnant energy, nothing is happening. And one of the herbs that I love to tell women about is a herb called squavine. And so if you know a little bit about the squaw woman, which was the indigenous woman to this land, um, squaw means chief, right? Chief woman, right? The leaders, the warriors. And over time, colonizers changed the definition of squaw to a very derogatory term, right? And so squavine is an herb that helps women stand in their empowerment through their womb, right? It turns the electricity back on in your womb. And it's about reclaiming your story, right? Just like the squaw woman came back after colonism and said, "Hey, no, we're not embarrassed about who we are. We don't care what you call us or what your intention behind it is. We are squaw, and squaw, we are chief," right? So telling your own story, right? Standing in your womb power, standing in your story, and allowing yourself, right, to be empowered with your womb story. What is your womb story? You can start your womb healing just by identifying, reflecting, sitting back, meditating on what your womb story is. What is your womb speaking? What is it feeling? How is it feeling? Right? What is it like to eat? What doesn't it like to eat? The brother was talking about like taking care of your womb in certain ways, and making sure that you are clearing the channels so that you can open certain things, you can tap into certain information. So our wombs, there are a lot of things that the society, right, provides us that is just deadly for us, right? Such as dairy, just cheese and dairy. Women love, I noticed that a lot of women love cheese, right? And if you kind of like pay attention to yourself, and when you really want cheese, it's really when your womb needs a hug. And because cheese and dairy, especially cheese, what it does is sits on your womb and makes it warm, right? And so that warmth that we're not getting, right? We're getting it from poison. We're getting it from things that actually is doing the opposite than what we really want for ourselves. So, making sure that your diet is in alignment with your body, right? And if you don't know what that is, if you can't feel what that is, talk to people, right? Do some research, right? Definitely, if you want to connect with yourself, you want to stand in your power to be able to tell your story and not let the world tell your story, right? Start aligning yourself with more fruits, vegetables, right? And things that are going to be in alignment with you being empowered. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Tracy, the Sacred CEO. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
good. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I just want to say, I love what you were saying. Is it Kahabru?
K-Roo.
Yes, and the brother Tyler. Thank you. I mean, y'all was so on point. But going back to that cheese piece and going back to abstinence, I want to touch on both of those. Okay, that cheese piece. A lot of times, while we crave cheese, especially as women, or even just is melanated people, a lot of it has to do with, because we're trying to go back to mother's milk. It's a very comforting feeling. That casein that's in that cheese, that's a comforting molecule, right? But it also causes the mucus, and it causes, of course, the inflammation in the body. But that's what we're doing. We're actually familiarizing ourselves with that casein that comes from the mother's milk, as far as the cheese and the dairy and things like that. But sis, you also said, you brought up about the red raspberry. That's very, very important. My 3 go-to herbs for womb health, yoni steaming, are red raspberry, nettle, and red clover. That's like the trinity for anything reproductive related. And then if you want to go ahead and start awakening, as you said, sister, awakening and getting that activity going, that makaru, you know what I'm saying? Getting that ashawanga, you know, and getting those herbs that's going to help to stimulate that. Now, going to the abstinence piece, I think that abstinence does play a role in our healing. It really, really does. But I also am a strong proponent for pleasure. Honey, I'm a strong proponent for orgasmic healing. And as women, we have to tap into that pleasure principle, because when we are our happiest, we are our most divine. When we actually are really tapping in to those healthy orgasms, I'm talking about the ones that sing off chakras and you get the sounds and the tones and all that. I'm talking about some real next level metaphysical, you know what I'm saying, healing with those orgasms. That actually helps to open up that feminine energy, opens up that portal. It opens up the creativity, and it helps her to tap into her fertility, because as women, we're connected to abundance. We are connected to all of the abundance. If you notice, when a man get with a good woman who's tapped in and she's strong and she's you know, she got some healing with herself, they can go really, really far. Like, she will upgrade. She will, you know, she will put in that divine work, right? So it's important that our brothers really understand it. I like how you said, brother, you said the honor, but I'm going back to what the sister said. We could say worship, you know, we could say worship, we could say devotion. You know, that's very important. Being devoted to the divine feminine, right? Being devoted to the feminine energy. That's so important, because it helps us to feel safe. It helps us to feel secure. It helps us to open up, and we can honestly step into our divine feminine power. And when we just step into that divine feminine power, baby, we like a rocket ship. We could take off, and it's nothing we can't do, but we have to tap in to that level of universal feminine energy. And many of us, we don't even know that we have that. We don't know that we have that strong sense of power of true divine feminine energy and the potential of that, right? So I just wanted to come in and say it. I apologize for coming in late, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to be here with y'all, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to add to what the sister just said. Oh, yeah.
We can't hear you, brother.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sis.
So, in reference to all of the things that were shared, what stands out for me the most is how to connect with your womb in order to heal yourself. Um, it's almost as if, like, you could tell people all day long to have faith in church, but how do you show a person how to have faith, you know, or what to believe in? The womb is alive. Like, every part of our body has organs that are alive. It has divine intelligence. And when we tap into our womb, we're tapping into our feelings, our emotional body, our sacral chakra, our solar plexus, which is the seat of our emotion. And when people talk about emotion, emotional eating, you know, when they're craving that cheese, that donut, that cake, that cookie, it's that's an emotional attachment that has to do with nurturing. So that comes with self-care. You know, what are you doing to take care of self? What are you doing to love yourself? And that's where self-care or womb work comes in. You know, womb work can be easy, or it can be a little challenging based on our traumas, based on the level of understanding that we have about our bodies. If we're putting in alkaline foods, for example, we are balancing our womb flora. If we're putting in acidic foods, which is your meats, your starches, these things turn into acidic foods. So the first step would be to take care of your womb is to alkaline your diet. You know, drink plenty of water, eat plenty of fruit and vegetables. Do your superfoods, your sea mosses. That would be the first step. The second step would be to get in touch with the elements. I love water, and I see water in the background, so I'm going to say water baths are very important for us to release and let go of a lot of emotional baggage that we may carry, as well as picking up on other people's energy and entities. We are women, we absorb
Ooh,
everything.
yeah.
And so we have to put ourselves in alignment with our breath, which is the spirit, and with water. We come from water, we come from air. We are product of an
Yeah.
orgasm, is true. We are all products of an orgasm. So that's a very powerful conduit when we know that we come from a bubble, which is water and air. You know, so you want to go back into that womb in the water. Another way you can tap into your womb is to get really still in a dark place, whether it's in the confinements of your home or whether it's in a sweat lodge or a spa area where you can purge and release any negative energies, entities, and emotional baggage that you may be carrying. Is really important for us to be true to ourselves in those times, in those moments when we are alone in that bath or when we are in nature. And so these are some of the ways that we could tap in to cleanse and clear our womb. Fasting, you know, whether you fast and not eat anything at all and have water, or whether you fast on fruits only, right? These are also really great to put you in alignment with your self care and your best and highest self. Um, a lot of people think that this is hard or challenging, but it's not. If you really, really, really want to get into balancing out your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional body, the bath, being in nature, changing your diet or switching your diet around will put you in. You probably, if you fasted, you probably wouldn't even have a period if you do it correctly. And so I actually offer services. I do the bath box detox, seasonal detox. I also will be doing sound baths with our brother here, Tyler, and Miss Rita. And these are some of the ways that we annihilate and eradicate negative energies, entities, and tap into our root chakra to balance it out. So, with that said, I will pass it on, I guess, to Rita or Tyler, or to.
Thank you. So I just wanted to add to what Miss Tracy was saying. Um, and I'm going to tie it into the cheese as well. So let me start off with the cheese. We have to understand that cheese has a chemical in it. I believe it's called niacin or casein. I'm not exactly the name of the. I don't remember the name of the chemical, but this chemical is more addicting to the dopamine receptors in our brain than crack and heroin and cocaine. It is cheese is more addictive than all of these things. So we equate cheese with pleasure. And so I want the sisters to be careful because a lot of sisters do this. When the sister said tap in to your pleasure, to your orgasm, make sure you're doing that with the correct man. Because a lot of women tap in and they get addicted to that because the orgasm could be just as addicting as these drugs. And so you're not actually addicted to the man because you say that many men can't give y'all orgasms. You're addicted to the orgasm. So what happens is that man is what we are now calling toxic, right? He is not healed. And so you are now utilizing that energy and replacing it. See, you're actually doing what the sister said, but you're doing it with no guidance. We have to understand that things have to be guided and done correctly because you may be doing the right thing, but you're doing it with the wrong person. That person may not be healed. So it's very important for you sisters to understand that when you are tapping into that pleasure energy, that you are not becoming addicted to a person as well. Because a lot of brothers, and I was even there myself, you know what I'm saying, don't really know the proper way of guiding a woman when she becomes attached via the orgasm. Some of them start saying, oh, she tripping, she getting too clean, and you don't understand that this is her way of bonding with you, the same way you are exchanging these energies. So when you are entering in that womb, you have to, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. When he is entering in that womb, sisters, you have to be very careful of where this brother is because you do not want to get addicted to that energy because you want what the sister said. You want to tap back into that healing energy. You want the orgasm energy is the orgone energy, which is the original energy. All life comes from this energy.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure the energy that you are getting
Yes.
is coming from a healed man, a man who's in the process of healing, who understands that his sex is not just a weapon, it's not just something he can do to keep you up under him. Because it's like the sister said, the power, you can really heal yourself with orgasms, but you can also destroy yourself in the same time if you are not aware of these brothers out here. So that's, I just wanted to add that to the for what the sisters were saying. And I'll pass it on to anybody else.
I got something to say about cheese.
All right. Brother Hanks, come get ready to come give you this thing about this cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get my nephew. Yo, listen up. Yo, listen up, y'all. Uncle Hanky loves some cheese sandwiches with tomatoes. Yo, I've been eating those things since I was a kid. Down south, you used to have the tomato sandwich with mayonnaise. Yo, that shit was great. And then
cheese on it. I remember.
yeah, cheese sandwiches, because you know, we didn't have a lot of money back then. But that cheese was very pleasing.
And it was different.
And it tastes good. I like mayonnaise. Yo, but I found out after a while, mayonnaise don't like me. And then the boogies from the cheese sandwiches, and I got a halal spot around the corner that makes some good scrambled egg and cheese sandwiches. But then I got boogies to deal with. I'm tired of dealing with the boogies, so I took a break from the cheese and eggs scrambled together with onions, green peppers, tomatoes on toasted wheat bread. But then I started packing these clams of mucus, and so I took a break from Sal's all-day breakfast spot, and I noticed I wasn't fixing clams no more. So I like being able to, you know, have a clear. I still got a little residual. I guess those are the clam cooties that's still leaving. But you know, that's real talk, you know, because that food would last me all day. Scrambled egg and cheese, onions, green peppers, tomatoes. Yo, they know, they got my menu memorized. When they see me coming, they know what I want. But yo, I'll tell you something else I like. Mac and cheese, if they know what they doing. But yo, mac and cheese don't like me. Because boy, the farts that come from mac and cheese will clear a room. So I just want to say, you know, I'm a work in progress.
He actually brought up a really good point about the cheese when y'all was young.
Yes, the cheese.
A lot of people growing up in the project had what? Government cheese. This was cheese that was designed by some of the best chemists in the world to mess with your molecular structure. Why do you think it's so addictive? Why do you think so many poor people grew up on cheese? Why do you think cheese was so prevalent? Even equated to money, which is equated to your existence. They call it getting the cheese, getting the bread. And these are things that cause what? Inflammation in the body. And sometimes we get lost with having money, and that becomes the inflammation of our ego. And that becomes a blockage to the soul. We have to really understand
It
how
causes
deep these
tumors
things
and
get.
growths.
Right? This is why I said I don't worship, because I understand the etymology of worship. Worship is the worst ship of all ships to be in. This is why we don't believe either. We either know or we don't. But knowing is hard, because what does know mean? N-O, right? Don't you do that. But K-N-O-W means to what? Grasp, comprehend, or understand, or overstand. This is why I play with the words like that.
And another note on cheese: the cheese, if you eat enough of it, it will crystallize in your womb and cause cysts, fibroids, and other growths in the body, because the body thinks that it's pregnant.
Yep.
So it begins to feed it, and it gorges with blood, especially on your during your monthly cycle. So when we need to love ourselves and nurture ourselves, and we eat cheese, the cheese actually creates these growths, these tumors, these fibroids, which eventually it will begin to think that it's a baby there, and it will begin to feed the growth.
Yep.
So you want to really take into consideration, cheese is not the cheese that Uncle Hank used to eat. The cheese nowadays is definitely man-made, processed, not real, and it's a chemical designed to create growths, thus giving the doctors an opportunity to cut out our wounds. So you want to definitely experiment with cheese alternatives, whether it's from a nut or seed. Go that route, or not eat any cheese at all.
Exactly. Just get rid of it. Retrain your mind. Tell your mind, nah, I can't do that.
Our bodies is not made to digest cheese. If you want a womb healing, cinnamon, honey, mangoes. Mangoes actually pineapples. Real live electric food. Like real food that will make you feel alive. That's what I have to add. Alkaline, yes.
And fruits with seeds, definitely. And I'm sorry to go back to that cheese, but
it's real.
It's so real. Like, oh my God, sis was just talking about how the cyst. Let me tell you, if you can see how cheese covers the wombs and bubble up, you know what I mean? It's gross. Cheese does not leave your womb. It's so crazy, it doesn't leave. It bubbles up and it like molds, and it's not worth it. And it has its own hormones too, right? So when your hormones is off balance, you are susceptible to being spiritually attacked, physically attacked. You have holes now, right? So you open up yourself to things that you really don't want for yourself, right? And I'm gonna leave that right there. But I just wanted to throw in that last bit about the cheese. Like, I feel like a lot of people that'll be watching this,
So hurts
will be attacked.
I wanted to speak a little bit about hurts. Like when you run your bath water, to change the molecular structure of the water, because that's really important, especially if you suffer with tumors and fibroids. Please don't get your womb removed. Please tap into your diet and take these baths. So when you're running the water, you want to put your salt, your vinegar, you put a little alcohol in there, and these are what you call cutting baths. It also helps to dissolve the growths that you may have in your womb. It also helps to relax you more while you're in the bath, and while you're in there, play some hertz, because that changes the molecular structure of the water. It also soothes your blood, which is water. And then when you do your breaths, do some fire breaths. With fire breaths, you could actually give yourself a full blown blood transfusion if you do enough of them. Say if you do 500 to 600 fire breaths, and you may want to work your way up to that. Start with 100, one bath, and then go to 200, the next bath, and then 300, the next bath. And it may take you a few weeks to do this, but taking 2 to 3 baths a week is very important. I specialize and water meditation and baths. You know, and I find it to be very soothing, very healing, very cutting away all the negative energies and entities that I may have picked up throughout my day. One, because I'm always touching on people because I do hair. So I'm touching people's thoughts. I'm touching people's auric field. And so I pick up on anything. I could be touching on a murderer, a rapist. I don't know who I'm touching on. So I have to learn ways to cut away the negative energy, and baths help with that. It also helps to stabilize you emotionally, which is most of us are emotional eaters, and we're addicted to certain things. So these baths actually help us to center ourselves and to really see clearly how we need to move, what we need to be doing. As a matter of fact, me taking baths has allowed me to create certain programs that I share with my community and with my people on a regular basis. So taking baths is very important when you're doing your womb work, when you're trying to elevate your electromagnetic field. And so, you know, I say make sure you get in that tub, make sure you liquefy your diet, and you'll be all right. You'll pass those fibroids. You'll not develop fibroids or any kind of growth because you're staying away from that cheese. You know, you're alkalining the body with the fruits and the vegetables and the superfoods. You know, you're detoxing regularly, making sure you go to the bathroom. You should be going to the bathroom after every meal. If you're not going to the bathroom every meal, you got to make sure you're taking some form of herbal laxative once a week. If not with every meal, you know, you could do a little allocat with every meal, especially if you're eating bread and stuff like that. So, with that said, you have a question?
Do you have like meal prep plans?
Do I have meal prep plans?
Yeah.
I do when I do my group. I do meal prep and food demos and things like that for those who actually participate in the bath box detox, which I do seasonally. And so, yeah. Okay. So, anyone else?
I see some of my students in here from Love My Womb Academy. I just want to say, hey, I also want to touch on what you was saying, sister, about the baths, because that's very, very important, the element of water, because we come through that water. Those of us who have growths, we can always do some womb massages and get a castor oil bentonite clay pack, soak that cheesecloth in that castor oil, and we're gonna get that bentonite clay, and we gonna just lay that right on that womb, because what it does is it draws out those toxins. Self-forgiveness is very important, and womb journaling. Womb journaling, the sister said earlier about how you speak to your womb and your womb talks back. You'll be surprised the personality of your womb. Like, she has a whole person. She loves scents, certain colors, certain music, and it's really that getting back to that connection. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm you know, for real, it's really about being connected. So those of us who do have growths and things, fibromyalgia, I heard a sister say something about fibromyalgia on here. She had came up and asked about that. The fibroids, the endometriosis, but the endometriosis as well. You have vulvodynia. You got the yeast infection, which really just means you have an overwhelming amount of yeast in your gut. That's a gut thing, like the brother was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's trying to get his way out. It's trying to break free. So it's coming out of all the orifices, including the vagina, right? But yeah, those baths are powerful. Say thank you for deep breathing. Is also womb massage. Very, very important. But to definitely start womb journaling. You should have a whole journal strictly for the connection of your womb and self-forgiveness. Forgiving yourself.
Yes, yes. And who's talking? Oh,
So until he comes back, I just want to say something. to the sister that said she has fibromyalgia, before we even can start healing certain wound modalities, we have to heal and get the mental and the spiritual right first. So I'm gonna give it to Hank. He's coming right now, and then we're gonna come right back to that here.
And then I got something to say.
Y'all mute your phone. Sister Tracy, family, listen to this. For you brothers out there that got girlfriends, and for you husbands that got wives or a wife, one time I was scanning over my sister friend, and I did so many psychedelics, I could hear sometimes voices coming from a woman's womb. I could hear voices coming from her Stargate. So I'm gonna share with you what she found, and I did this. I wasn't high. I wasn't high on no shrooms or psychedelics, but maybe I was, because her womb and her yoni wanted me to sing a love song, and so I got positioned, and I just started singing. I forgot what song it was. With you, and let that echo sound just keep rippling. Loving you is easier than breathing. That's the moment, y'all. And then you kind of like, you can pick up the vibe, brothers, with you. And, being that the anatomical shape looks like a tunnel, it almost like it could be a reverb. And you could almost feel like, oh, it'll start singing back to you. Just something to think about. To sing to the coochie. Can I get an amen? Yo, all the sisters in here said amen. All right. Take care, brother.
Well, can I say something real quick? Oh, okay.
So, to add to what, before I pass the mic real quick, to add to what Brother Hank just said, I want y'all to really think about this. This is for all my old school people out there. Remember how Earth, Wind, and Fire sounded, right? What could make a man sound like that? The womb. You need to understand how powerful what you really are is, ladies. For a man to get into his feminine, his soft, and his essence, and then sound like Earth, Wind, and Fire, sound like the Temptations, sound like the Stylistics. If you didn't exist, we couldn't do that. That's how powerful your wombs are. You will make a man write the greatest love song that has ever been because of what is inside of you. See, they say men run the world, right? No, we just use force. Really, it's women. Everything a man does. Why did you build cities and civilization? For the woman. Why did you create money? For the woman. Yeah. Why did you build it? Why did you wash your ass today? Because of that woman. Because of that woman. So we really need to understand the power that this yoni is. It's not just a place for you to stick your penis. It is a literal it's much more than a home. It is the physical portal between the spiritual and the physical realm. It is an actual recharging station. And I'm going to let the ladies have it.
You just dropped the mic just like that. Love it. I just wanted to go back to what the sister Tracy was saying. I love womb journaling. I love, going with shopping with women and making sure that they get a journal that matches their expression, right? Like not just picking up a journal and being like a composition book, like, all right, I'm writing this, like get something that matches your swag, your womb swag. You know what I mean? Your womb is where creativity, comes from, right? So get into your creativity with that. Other womb practices that may not be so Black may not be so obvious, right? Talking to your ancestors is womb work. Okay. Connecting with your ancestors
Come
is
on.
womb work. And it's very, very, very important because the collective of stories that came, like I said earlier, that came, into existence before we came, into existence is the energetic frequency of your womb, right? So you could actually heal as many generations as you need to heal going backwards, and the legacy that you're going to leave forward through your womb, right? Everybody's womb has a story, so
Yes.
could the brother said something about your heart, right? So the womb is connected to your heart. So womb work, you don't want to do womb work without doing, some heart work, right? You wanna make sure that your heart is open, right? And that's a journey, a whole nother journey in itself, right? It's a whole nother thing. But everybody keep in mind, like, we do have, sometimes we may have pains of the heart, right? But just tell yourself, we got these muscles, we got these tissues, we got so many things that's protecting our hearts, right? Remind yourself that you're safe, right? Be gentle. Yeah, don't be afraid to be gentle with yourself, and implement these things into your life, right? Put it in your mind that this is what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to make a space for me. I'm going to make space for myself, in my heart, right? I'm going to make space for, my spiritual baths, right? To cleanse. It's important, very, very, very important to clean energy off of you, right? Because like, you can throw parts of yourself away and take on other people's stuff, right? This is all spiritual hygiene, right? Just like you would take a shower, right? Literally taking a bath is a part of your hygiene, and we're responsible for that, right? You can't blame anybody else for anything that happens to you. You're responsible for protecting yourself, right? You can't leave it to the doctors. You can't leave it to mama. You can't leave it to your best friend, your boyfriend, none of those people, right? So we're responsible for ourselves, for our self-care, for our health, for our legacy, okay? And it's never, never, ever, ever, ever too late to start. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you had a hysterectomy. You have your womb still there energetically, And if you have had, there's so many, I know my mom, when she had her hysterectomy, she could always feel around a time when she would get her menstrual cycle. Always, always, okay? So it's never too late. It's never too late to start connecting with the most sacred parts of ourselves, right? The womb is not just a physical organ, okay? None of our organs are, right? It's a portal, right? And it's a portal where we can, like the sister said, we can make and break men through our wombs. We can make a man wealthy, or we could make him broke, right? So it's, and how to master that, that's up to you, right? It depends on how much time you want to take, and your self-care. And that's just what I want to say.
Yeah, because I'm personally vegan, but I'm not like a clean vegan. I'm kind of like a dirty vegan. I'm not dirty vegan, but like I eat like cheese, like pizza, grilled cheese. So I'm gonna cut that out of my diet and try to like change it up. And question, with the sacred baths, is there like a certain water you have to use? Is this for questions? Are we doing Q&A? I'm sorry.
You know what? It's interesting. Water. Oh, you could use, everything's intention, right? That's a good, really, really, really good question. There are waters that I love to tell people to use. I love river water, right? Because river water embodies, river and ocean water, and it's a very feminine, divine feminine energy, right? As a base for whatever your spirit is telling you. Really listen to your spirit, right? You could use rainwater, right? You could use river water. You could use ocean water. You could use tap water with prayer over it, right? However, the waters do carry different energies and vibrations. So, you can tap into those energies. if you are having fertility issues, you might want to do river water or ocean water, right? If you want to connect with your ancestors and you want to start to piece together, where you came from, and you want to channel in information on literally the people that came before you, you might want to use rainwater, right? So go into your waters. Like, if you don't have access to any of that, right, you could actually speak what you want over the water. If you use alkaline water or tap water, there's so many different waters that you can use. I really love that question because I'm a water girl. Like the sister, I love spiritual baths, and I'm very faithful and true to doing my spiritual baths, and I'm a activist for it. Okay, but find different waters and look these waters up. See what the energies these waters have, and whatever you feel like you need. Sometimes you may not even know what you need. It might be something you download or you channel. Right, go with your intuition. Go with your intuition. You can do another thing is, I don't know who's gonna watch this or who's watching this, but it's coming to me, fruit baths, right? Especially for fertility and for the womb, right? Bring that sweetness back to your body. Bring the fruits back to your womb, right? Prayer with spiritual baths, praying over your water that you drink, right, is essential. And everything that you do for your womb, anything that you do, make it intentional. Make it intentional. So thank you for that question. That was a great question.
I wanted to speak to a little bit. So the womb is a space of manifestation. We manifest from our womb space, as well as our solar plexus, which is the seat of our emotion. They work hand in hand, really. So with manifesting, we can manifest anything through an orgasm. I think that's what the sister was trying to tap into earlier. And not just a baby, but if we have goals, if we have aspirations and things that we aspire to have or envision for ourselves, we could definitely tap into our partner and our mates, right? When we're with them and we have this beautiful, heightened sensitivity, or sensitive moment when we are both reaching our peak, sexual peak, which is an orgasm. We can envision, if we have certain goals, we can envision those goals and the things that we would like to have or see manifest in physical form. We can envision them together or separately during the moment of the orgasm. So that's right there, requires us to do some cleaning, some womb wellness, some cleansing and clearing, so that we can, manifest quicker, more expeditiously, more accurately when we do come to that point of sexual heightenment. So I just wanted to interject that. So.
Thank you. Someone, I think Danielle, had asked about water filtering. Absolutely. It goes without saying, and we all know that, our water is messed up, right? So we want to change the vibrational frequency, either through, if you're going to filter your water, whatever way you feel like you need to clean your water or for your water to be suitable for you and your body, definitely do it, right? Raise the vibration of the water, especially if you're using it from the tap, right? Speak over the water, right? Pray over the water for 3 days. Put it on an altar, right? Before you use it, right? Change the frequency. Water is energy, and it's a portal, right? So definitely work with your water. Put herbs. You could put, like a spiritual bath, herbs. Put salt if you need to. I mean, depends on your situation. Something else I do want to recommend that I tell my students all the time. Someone had attachments, right? Black walnut, was an herb that in my group, when the body count is up, I let the girls know, look, y'all got to get your body count down. And we do that through black walnut, meaning that when we have too many attachments, pour you some black walnut, right? Energetic parasites, because that's what happens, right? When we have cords, unfortunately, we live lives and we don't think about the people that, we are connecting with, or we're just unaware how these things work. So we can have, a lot of parasitic energies just connected to us. Sometimes they don't have to be parasitic. It could just be energies where we're still sharing, these lifelines with each other. And, someone is going to get more, someone is going to get less, right? So you definitely want to like cut those cords to whatever's not serving you anymore, right? I don't care how long you probably haven't spoke to Joe in 20 years, but Joe was still in your energetic frequency, right? Joe was still in your vortex and still like, making money off of your energy, right? Still, driving since Joe met you. Joe been, driving like the best of the best, right? And you've been struggling a bit, right? Or you've been like, I notice when a lot of us have a lot of cords, right, attached. You ever know when you're eating and you just can't get hungry? I mean, you can't get full, That's because you have other people taking your stuff energetically. So you're sharing everything you get, essentially. And so a lot of us, most of us, don't know that science to go into it to even cut these cords. But black walnut, bathe in black walnut, right? And speak over the black walnut. This is under the power of the ancestors, of Allah, of the divine, of the universe. This person's energy, have no influence over me anymore, right? Not mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever, right? And do those. And when you do it, so many people are going to come up for you, right? And anytime you feel like someone is coming up, as I'm talking right now, if there's somebody coming up for you, you need to do it. Okay? It'll definitely take the load up off of not only your sacral chakra, your root chakra, but your womb space, right? We hold people, and sometimes we hold people tighter than what we need to. Okay, so it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. It's kind of like the order of the day in this time, right? Let those bags go. Erica Badu said, "Bag lady, you gonna hurt your back." So put some of them bags down. Sometimes it's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's an energetic thing, and it does seep into your life physically, literally. And it's unfortunate, but most people don't get it until it hits the bank account. It start hitting you in very carnal ways. So take control. Take life by the horns. Take control over your life. You have that right. Okay.
Yep.
And thank you.
Greetings. I'm going to bow out gracefully. My phone is about to die. I just want to thank everyone for allowing me to speak. I hope that I've shared some good things that will help to support you in your womb journey, your womb wellness journey. And until the next time, I am complete. Good night.
Yeah.
So, I want to say to now going back to the talk of the fibromyalgia. So before you can even some of these things that we have to deal with are spiritual as well, not just the physicality of what we eat and things of that nature. So you have to heal the mind and heal from certain, what do I want to say, traumas. I'm using that term very loosely, that have impacted you. So before you're ready to get there, because some people say, well, I went the route of the herbs and they did not do anything for me. That's because you weren't spiritually or energetically ready for that healing. You just wanted the physical aspect of it. And so I actually was with a woman for many years who had fibromyalgia. She had PCOS. She had cysts and fibroids. She was unable to get pregnant, and we ended up healing her womb because she was doing some of the work. And then we got the herbs, and she was able to get pregnant. So what I'm saying is you have to heal the mind, heal the spirit. Then you can take the herbs. And some of the herbs that you can use are a lot of the blood cleansers. But one of the best ones that a lot of people are not aware of that is good for fibromyalgia specifically is something called Chinese okra, or it's a ugly okra, or if you're from the islands or specifically like Guyana, they call it Karila. It's a blood cleanser, and this is very good for helping and aiding at removing the fibromyalgia, removing the cysts that are on the fibromyalgia. There are certain blends of herbs. If anybody is from New York or New Jersey, there's a place in Brooklyn that I get all my herbs from. It's called Ambrosia Health Food. They literally have a blend for every single ailment. With my own eyes, I have witnessed people go here and get healed from AIDS, cancer, herpes, syphilis. When I say cured, I mean that they were diagnosed by a doctor. They went back to the same doctor and no longer had it. So I want everybody to get familiar with this place. If you're in this area, you're in New York, New Jersey, it's not that far. It's in Brooklyn on Atlantic Ave. It's called Ambrosia Health Foods. This is where I went to help the lady that I was with get rid of her cysts, get rid of her fibromyalgia. They whipped up herbs and batches of herbs. And another thing is, I'm going to take it biblical for a second. Remember, Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. There is no disease that can live in the body if you get on a 40-day juice fast. Green juices, not just watermelon, actual green juices for 40 days. I was 140 pounds at one time. I mean, I'm sorry. I was 240 pounds at one time. At the same time, the lady I was with, we went on a 40-day juice fast. Luckily, I only had to go 30. She ended up doing 60, and we got rid of all of the diseases that were in her. I had diabetes. I told you she was unable to get pregnant. Her womb was dead. She had. I'm not gonna put her, but she had multiple partners. And a lot of the women don't understand that there's something that the man carries called HPV, human papillomavirus. This causes cancers. So you have to really understand that it's undetectable in us, but it is super damaging to you. And by the time it's detected into you, it can almost be too late. This is why I say heal the womb first. I'm sorry, heal the mind first, then get to the herbs, then get to the healing. That's what I wanted to say with that.
Yeah, preparation is very important. You know, take your time to prepare and to prep. Um, and I always tell people like the nervous system, you know, sometimes when the brother was talking about how sometimes you can take herbs and nothing happens, you know, that's because the nervous system, you know, isn't relaxed. You know, so once you can like relax your body, then the medicine can actually work for your body. Sometimes our organs are so stressed because of all the stress and trauma and just the shuck and jive of just regular, you know, days that we have, right? So definitely relaxing the body will calm the mind, will calm the heart, and it'll help the medicine penetrate and go where it needs to go.
And I want to add, invest in yourself. Instead of going to fast food, cook. Instead of going to uh, go to the spa, go on vacation, like unwind, unplug, go out for a hike, go into nature, get in the water in nature, invest in yourself. You are the prize, nobody else. You got to do it for yourself. Love yourself, hug yourself. Yes. Hold yourself, get into yoga, move your body. The body is a stream of water. Move all the waters around, you know.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Uh,
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
yeah.
I got something over here reading. Listen up. The biggest thing you can do is tune into your intuition. The people who are really in touch with their intuition and didn't know how to deal with it are who we call crazy folks. You know, and that leads to Kundalini activation the more you listen to your intuition. Sisters, sing to the brother's hands and his feet. Sing songs to the brother's feet and hands as if you're singing to their ancestors. Sisters, I'm talking to you. When was the last time you sung to the hands of your significant other? Or did you have to wait until Uncle Hanky told you to do so? When was the last time you bathed your boyfriend or your husband's feet and sang to his ancestors? Ye are gods, Psalms 82:6. And brothers, when was the last time you sang into the souls of your woman or your wife or your girlfriend, to the ancestors that brought forth her firm, soft, strong feet? Or when's the last time you sung to her? Just sing. And thank the ancestral lineage that she ain't a flatliner, that she's symmetrically, sacredly curved to your vivid imagination. Just sing to the anatomical symmetry of her bosom. Write a poem to her locks. You ain't got to have a swig of liquor to make them songs come quicker. Sometime it might. But once you get into the rhythm, you don't even need these promotional, herbal, chemical boosters. You make it a way of life. And you'll be surprised. You might even see their ancestors talking. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm gonna co-sign
I love
what the
it. I love
brother just said and show you how to do these things.
Oh, go ahead. Go on over there with Peru. Uh-oh.
So paying attention, right, is the great
demo.
Oh no. I'm just gonna no. In a second. I don't know if my voice is what they want to hear though.
I hold the phone for you.
All right, I got you. But we gonna get there. But I want to co-sign what he just said, right? Your intuition. How do you listen to it? You pay attention. You go to their schools and pay their tuitions. Pay yourselves attention, and that is the intuition that will pay off. You understand what I'm saying? Pay attention to yourself. Attention. We are at tension, standing, while we pay to the intuition. This is what will give you your scholarship. This is where the true knowledge comes from.
You get ready to sing to our soul?
Sure. Listen. If y'all don't get mad at me. This is his fault. You got to hear my voice.
and you'll see. Bring the phone. Okay. Listen, I didn't know this was going to happen, but I'm going to hold the phone while he sings to her soul or her hand.
Remember, these palms are the soles of your hands. And you have soles of the feet as well. Nice. You are a toroidal field. These are entrance and exit points. From the top of the head, the hands, and the soles of the feet.
Oh, she
Right?
got some nice feet too. Hold on, let me zoom in on them feet. She got some nice feet. Oh man,
Tiny feet, right?
Sister Tracy, you see some nice feet over there?
Yeah, she got some pretty feet.
Show that smile, Sister Rita.
Oh my God.
Because we don't see this on social media. They got everything but a brother holding some soulful souls. Woo! Yes, Lord. Somebody
Come
say
on.
amen.
A1.
She's giving us the energy.
Oh, she's a bundle of
You got a bundle of energy too. Look at the way them fingers are moving on. She don't know what to do with herself watching all this grown folk
Like
stuff.
some
Yes.
soul.
That's me.
You're supposed to say praise the Lord.
Yeah. And I want to
Pastor Tools.
yes, I want to add to that, brother Hank.
And look, he
Brother
ain't the only
Tyler,
one. Look at me.
about
love
you.
and you.
Oh, you getting it into? Oh, yes.
Because your
Come
soul
on.
is your goal. And
That's it.
every day with you, my life has gotten better. Without you, what is the purpose of me? And you, Rita Reed, are best full of love like the sea. Always and forever. Each moment with you is just like a dream to me that always come true. And always tomorrow. And I forgot the rest. And with your love,
I love it. I love
we
it.
will control the tides. And to your love, I tie my soul to you. Boop, beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. Look what you done started up here, Tracy. Sister Tracy, y'all comment, like, and subscribe to church service on Monday. Coochie Church is
Can I
alive.
just say something to that? Yes. Let me say concerning the Coochie Church. Yes. And listen, us sisters, this is one thing we have to really get. We have to really understand that we got to work on this. Being able to receive. Life. We have to really
Tyler, I don't know how your volume
get
is. I can hear
the
something.
willingness to be able to receive. That is so important. That is part of feminine energy, being able to receive. We give so much. We constantly giving and sharing. And as Black women, we always feel like we need to serve. You know, we have this thing where we always have to be of service, but receiving, just receiving. That's enlightening, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the night. I thank y'all. It was so beautiful sitting with all of you. Peace and blessings.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Yeah, so you don't remember them.